What's up guys, Lancelot here, and today we have another ranked gameplay. This time we are in a trio, playing with Fanny and Lancelot. I'm playing as Hilda. And we have another legend and another mythic on our team. And we have a Bane, which is quite interesting. In fact, I think which is quite an unconventional pick. So let's talk about team comp right while we're here. On our team, I'm playing as the main tank, Hilda. In fact, Hilda is considered more of an off tank because Hilda doesn't have a lot of AoE CC, other than that small area of effect when you slash your ultimate onto a small group of people. We have a fighter Bane, assassin Fanny, assassin Lancelot, and another mage. And a mage Aurora. The enemy team has Akai as the main tank. They have an assassin Saber and an assassin Helker. They have a mage Hardy and a marksman Leslie. For this game, we'll be deploying this 2-on-2 approach, which is quite interesting because we are hoping to catch the marksman, because we know that Hardy will go mid lane most likely, so that Hardy can get the most farm and be the most impactful in the game. Because as you know, sending a mage to be in the mid helps the mage farm a lot more and gives a lot of ganking potential, which can help a lot in this lane skirmishes in the early game. Of course, as we follow Fanny around, our main job is just to help tank damage for Fanny so that Fanny can farm. In terms of last hitting, we hope that Fanny can get most of the last hits, but in some cases it's not really possible, so we just do what we can. So let's talk about why I picked Hilda this game and not any other tank. Right, so we are playing in a trio, which means there will be 2 public players on our team. Now, of course, when you play with public players, you always get this element an element of uncertainty when you play, because you don't know how good these players are. And in that case, I usually opt to play with an approach that goes with something like you have a tank that is good in the lane, and your partner, if he's laning with you, will play a carry role, such as an assassin, fighter, marksman, mage, whatever. Mage not really, but basically every other role other than support and mage will be a good idea, so that you can ensure that at least your friend who is playing with you, who knows how to play, can carry the game somehow and not be dependent on your public players for just doing the thing. Because as you know, most of these public players you're playing with, if you're playing a trio, they are in solo queue, and you know what solo queue is like. These players likely don't have a team, or they're just really bad. Just play on their own. They have no teamwork whatsoever, no coordination. And here we see that Saber has engaged onto us. Hardy has engaged onto us as well. Use Petrify and Ultimate with their AoE. This time we managed to get a 2-for-1 trade-off, because Fanny unfortunately did not have Bloodlust X at the moment. But in that case, I wouldn't say it was really worth it, but I think it was an okay trade-off because we had a 1-up in that situation. But I was hoping in that situation we could have just run away and just continued our farm, which could have been a better idea, I think. But since we already done it, there's nothing much I can say here. Trying to take the minion. Okay, I used ultimate onto me. Huge mistake, because I'm the freaking bush, and I'm a tank, and I build full, and I'm healing it up while he's doing damage to me and stunning me to a wall. Huge mistake. In fact, we have an advantage right now. Even though we are in a 2 against 3 situation, the enemy Akai does not have an ulti, which is what Fanny is afraid of. So here I'm trying really do so without going overextending so much. And so just opting to stay around and just harass a bit. And now they have blade armor. I'm really not afraid of the enemy marksman anymore. Or Helker, or Saber, or even Akai. Like, yeah. Once again, looking for a gauge, but we can't really find one. So just gonna do some poke damage and just get out of here. So anyway, back to why I'm choosing Hilda. I first mentioned it's because of we're playing in a trio. We can't really expect good players or not good public players. So I decided to go. We are playing a tank and assassin, the tank and carry hero role. And why Hilda specifically? Well, if you notice, Aurora is idiotic enough to just stand there. In fact, he has overextended in that sense. In fact, when Akai has landed his frog mark immediately, it's about time to back off. I mean, you have to wait until your frog mark is gone before you can actually confidently stay in a position and not be afraid of jumping. Being jumped on by Akai, and another thing is I was actually moving forward just to maintain the distance between Akai and Aurora, but apparently Aurora didn't really get the message. And here we want to go after the enemy Leslie. Helker is coming, huge mistake. We are both very farmed. Even I am more farmed than Helker. So we just immediately deleted him whatsoever. Hardy has used ultimate. I have cheesed on the Hardy, huge mistake. I'm gonna immediately back off right now. And I immediately hide in the bush. Fanny unfortunately was pushed into a tower, I think. I wasn't really paying attention. So unfortunate there. Maybe in that situation I think Fanny should have waited out, maybe waiting for Akai to use the ultimate first. And here I'm just taking my time to take this jungle river crab, which may or may not have been a good idea, but since we're already doing it, let's continue talking about why I picked Hilda. Now, of course, one of the reasons why I picked Hilda is because in a trio gameplay, the publics are really uncoordinated, so you find that the matches get really messy, as you saw get a glimpse of just now. So in this sense, it's good to pick a tank that is good in terms of skirmishes, and that will include Hilda, Akai, and somehow I got jumped on by everyone here. You just see how tanky I am, even though I was outside the bush. They had 5 people and it took forever just to kill me. But, okay, it's a mistake on my part because I really just I didn't expect them to come over. I didn't expect so many of them to come over. I was like, okay, sure, if you have 3 people come over, I'm quite sure I'll be able to survive. But it turns out they had 5. So anyway, okay, the enemy was really dedicated to kill me, and my team weren't even close, so it's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Fanny is trying to get some kills here, but Akai has pinned Fanny onto a wall, silenced by Hellcut. And once again, combo in by Saber, and he's died. And a mistake on my friend's part. So anyway, because the matches tend to be very messy, as you can see, like freaking skirmishes happening everywhere, where everyone just dumps all the ultimates on. It's good to pick a tank that can, the tank that can win in skirmish, has mobility and whatnot. And one of the tanks is Hilda. In fact, there are other tanks such as Akai, which are good at skirmishes as well. Belmont is very bad at skirmishes because he does not have enough CC. But when Belmont is paired with another tank that can provide a CC, that's pretty good. So yeah, because I have the mobility, it'll be easier to chase after marksman. Because as you know, with public players, a lot of people don't really know how to win a team fight properly, and they just take the first person they see at the front, which probably a tank, And if your public player is not helping you to take the marksman down, then who else will take the marksman, right? You can't just get one person to take down marksman. It's a little bit far-fetched. You need at least someone else, like 2 or 3 people, just to focus the marksman to get the marksman down. In this case, we already saw enemies taking Lord, so not much point in trying to contest it, because none of us can get a clean how you say it? You can't get a clean kill onto Lord. You can't really get a clean kill onto Lord without without sacrificing himself. In fact, Fanny has died over there. Yes, silenced by Hellcat, altered by Saber. In fact, the enemy team has pretty good tower prioritization, so I guess it's a decent job on their part. Here I am. I think I have really tunnel vision a lot. I was just going after Saber. Saber has managed to use ultimate, and Hardy's come right in. I'm definitely not going to survive here. So yeah, one of the problems when you play characters with high mobility is you tend to tunnel vision a lot. Like when I play Hilda, Bellman, sometimes. Not so much with archivists. I'm just constantly looking out for someone to pin onto a wall. I can just tend to be out of position because of the mobility I have, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, I can just easily escape. And that is often the case, but not always the case. So just need to pay attention to that. So of course, at this moment, the enemy team has an 1-up on us in terms of log kills, and they also have an advantage on us in terms of kills as well. We know that Hellcat just used ultimate, and since our enemy team has backed off at this point, I have decided to just come around and clear the lane, because he has nothing much to do at this point. So let's just imagine a scenario here. What would happen if I took Marathon in this game? Would the game have been any different? Well, it could have been different in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of variation. I mean, if your team is not a retard, like they really wait for you and they want to set up a proper engage, like they hide all the way at the back. I mean, by all the way at the back, that means all the way at the back, so that they do not get killed early on, so that you can do your stuff. I'm trying to chase out Leslie here, but I think we are unable to catch her. So if you're playing Marathon in this game, if I'm playing Marathon in this game, I think what's more likely to happen is that it's gonna fail terribly, because the team would like to go in on their own accord, and it's like to stand in front, and I'm just like, come on guys, give me some time, I need to get my rage on, I need to find a good position for my ultimate and whatnot. But then of course, public players really like to fight. They don't really use their brain to think, at least that's what I see in my games. So when I play Marathon, I normally only play it in a 5-stack, where we are coordinated enough to know that, okay, this is the time we go and engage, and we use our brains enough to know that this is the time that we have to get out. Now in this case, Hellcat used ultimate. We have lost all vision, so we immediately have to back off now. But Hellcat has dived all the way in, and that's what I mean by being a retard, right? You don't use your brains to think. Hellcat gets this adrenaline rush when you use the ultimate, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm the fastest man in the world, and then start overstanding all the way. And here you can see Fanny just going all the way onto Leslie. Okay, jump right in. Okay, use ultimate once again. I used an ultimate onto Archive. Might not have been the best idea because he did not cancel his ultimate, which I totally forgot about. So yeah, so if I had played Marathon, I think it would have been a harder game, very very hard game, because the team, there are a lot of conditions for Marathon to have a successful engage, in fact. And it's really difficult to achieve that when you're playing with public players, because they don't really, a lot of people don't play Marathon. Marathon is really a niche hero at this point. It's not that he's bad. It's not that he's bad. I think he's actually decent, but in this meta, when all your enemy when most of the meta heroes have so much mobility, like Leslie has this speed up mechanism and a freaking jump back. You have Harley with so much mobility, Saber, Hellcut, Silence, and whatnot. And even your tanks have a lot of mobility, like the one I'm playing now. It's sometimes really difficult for you to play Marathon not in a 5-man context, because when you're playing with public players, you really have to you have to play your best in order to win. In that you have to actually target the enemy marksman, because you know that somehow or rather the enemy team is gonna be smart enough to back off, and your team is gonna be retarded enough not to target the marksman. And of course, when you play as Marathon, you can land the perfect ultimate. After a flicker, they can target the marksman. But you know that not all the time you will get a kill onto the marksman and win the team fight from there, because your team didn't follow up, and we find out like, wait, where is everyone? Oh yeah, right, they're at the front line attacking the tank who has Immortality. Like, holy shit, that really pisses me off. And that is why it's really difficult to play Marathon in this season, especially when all the meta heroes have high mobility. Not that Marathon is bad or anything. I just think that if you're gonna play Marathon, you really need a coordinated team, and you need some setup. For example, you need some disabler like Saber or Cho or Ruby, some tankier hero to help you set up good engage, so they can ensure you can get to the enemy marksman or the carry hero with Marathon, because he does not have enough mobility for that. So yeah, that is the reason why I play Hilda in this game, because you're playing with public players, and yeah, as you can see here, Aurora literally did nothing at all but feed, because her positioning was so bad. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this trio gameplay with Lancelot, Fanny, and myself playing as Hilda. This is John, so I was signing off. The Minotaur video, yes, it's coming right up. I think I'll be able to release it sometime this week, so you guys stay tuned. This is John, so I was signing off. I'll see you guys next time.